Hi guys, this is part one of our new mini-series Starting E-Commerce, and if you're thinking about selling online and you're potentially a new startup or maybe an existing business looking to go into e-commerce, then this is the video for you. So we're going to be looking at where you should start selling your products, and we're just going to go through sort of the main options that I've put on the board, but there are others as well. But before we go through the pros, cons and the sort of general details of each option, there's 5 questions that I think you should ask yourself whilst we go through this video. Question 1 is, who's going to buy your products and what are their typical buying habits? Are they looking for the cheapest price? Are they looking for something unique and special? And take this into account. Question 2 is about your products. Are these unique to you? Are these sort of your own manufactured products, or you hand make them? Or are they white labeled goods, where you buy from a supplier and brand them yourself? Or are these generic or high street brands that you can buy in bulk, which other people can sort of buy and sell as well? Question 3 is about your situation, and this is important. About budget. Are you an existing business, or are you a startup with some financial backing? Because you've got great products, or are you in a full-time job looking to sort of start something up that you can leave your full-time job with a limited budget? Again, these are all good questions to sort of ask yourself. Question 4 is about your knowledge in e-commerce and also your technical skills. So we've all had really experience in buying online, so we kind of get the understanding of how it works. But as for technical skills, there's one thing I will point out before I even go into details, is spreadsheets. Now, if you have never used Excel or you don't feel comfortable with spreadsheet software, learn now. Now, there's many people that will disagree with me here, and I'm telling you they're absolutely wrong. When you start selling online, it's okay to start listing products one by one, when you start up. But when you start expanding, you want to start listing 10, 20, 100, 500, 1,000, you will use spreadsheets. All those popular marketplaces, allow you to upload products in bulk via spreadsheets, and even the tools that link into the marketplaces use spreadsheets. So please do just learn the basics. And then question 5, the most important is, where do you see yourself, or what's the vision? Is this going to be a venture where you can work from home, you can earn a decent wage, you can spend time with your family and have that sort of freedom? Or is this going to be something a bit more grand, where you want to sort of become a multi-million pound business or multi-million dollar business, and employ staff and become big? And so with those questions in mind, if you keep thinking about them, we will go through each of the options here. First one is eBay, and eBay is quite easy to list on, and it's the marketplace for everyone, almost. If you're selling second-hand goods, it's great. If you're selling your own branded products, it's great. If you're selling high street branded products, it's great. For me, eBay has a very low entry point, and it's a very easy, as I mentioned, it's a very easy marketplace to list on. The sort of commission fees are between 9 and 11%, plus you've got your PayPal fee of 3.2% plus 20p or 20 cents initially. These fees do drop as the more you sell, but a good rule of thumb is to really sort of, take 15 or 20% of your, your sort of sale value, and imagine that will go to sort of these popular marketplaces. eBay is probably the sort of number 2 marketplace in the world. As I mentioned, it's probably one of the best ones to start with, unless you're selling products that are unique, high price points, and you don't want to sort of dilute that brand. So that may not be the best marketplace to go on in that case. Amazon is the king of marketplaces, and this is good for 2 types of sellers, in my opinion. Now, there is second-hand sellers on there, and I'm not saying you can't sell second-hand goods, but I'm going to mention the 2 main ones that I would say is, one, it's going to be your sort of white label sellers, or your sort of manufacturers that are selling their own products and they're putting their own branded goods online, and they're controlling their own listings. This is just great because there's tons of visibility on Amazon, and you're gonna get sales. The other is the high street brands or the generic brands which other people can buy. You get the barcode, you list it on Amazon, and basically you're competing on price pretty much on that listing. So as many of you know, on Amazon you've got on the right hand side the buy box, and the buy box is where a seller wants to be. To get the buy box, there's a lot of different sort of ways of getting there, but mainly it's driven down to the lowest price, your account health on Amazon, so your sort of feedback, and if the item's in FBA or fulfillment by Amazon. And that allows people to, on the Prime membership, to get that sort of next day delivery. So if you're selling, generic branded goods or high street branded goods, it's going to be a price war. And even if you are selling your own branded goods, no, trust me, Amazon's still going to be a price war, and you're going to get some people maybe even jump on your listings that aren't selling your goods. So you've got to keep an eye on that. But Amazon's very good for those two types of sellers. Your website. Now websites aren't, people go, oh, I just build a website, I'm going to make sales. It doesn't work like that. Now websites are a great option. No, don't get me wrong, but they do take investment. You need to start learning about, good SEO practices. Make sure your website's mobile optimized. Initially, sort of paid advertising like Google Shopping, that's brilliant for websites. And also remarketing any, sort of orders that come through Google Shopping using something like MailChimp, so you get the most out of your money. Websites are good for, initially, if this is your first channel to sell on, it's good for sort of two types of sellers. If I'm selling a luxury product that I don't want to be on eBay and Amazon, then website's definitely the way to go forward, but you need to put that investment in as well. You need to make your website look, tip top, and you need to get the traffic there by paid traffic and, SEO and inbound marketing. Or if you are a handmade, sort of making handmade goods or custom goods, a website isn't a bad option. There is another option I'm going to talk about, which I think is a better starting point, but a website is definitely an option to look at. So if I'm making handmade goods, Etsy is the marketplace for that. If it's arty, handmades, they do also do antiques as well, not as big as a handmade selection. And Etsy is a really nice marketplace. It reminds me of early eBay. It's very easy to list on there. Commissions are quite low actually compared to the others. I've got it written down here. It is 3.5% selling fees plus your 4% what we call your processing fee for the actual purchase, and you have to add, I think it's a 20p or 25 cents if you're in America. But again, it's cheaper than eBay and Amazon. So Etsy, if you're making handmade goods, that's the marketplace to go on. Facebook, now, to be honest, I put Facebook there because I think if you're selling any of these, really, you should have a Facebook page. Everyone's on Facebook. Facebook advertising is one of the fastest increasing advertising models out there. If you've got an Etsy store, link to it. If you've got your own website, link to it. If you've got your own eBay shop or you've got your Amazon account, you should be on Facebook. And again, Facebook's a good way for just generally getting interest. If you're a smaller seller, Facebook doesn't take a lot of time. It doesn't cost any money unless you're going to pay for advertising. So that is a good option to go for. As you expand, there is other options, and I haven't included them here because I think the other options you shouldn't be looking at until you have either an Amazon account, an eBay account, a website, or you're on Etsy. You've got stuff like Newegg, which is good for consumer electronics. Cdiscount, which is like the Amazon of France. Jet, the big marketplace in the US that's recently been bought out by Walmart. The video is recorded in 2017, just in case you're watching this in the future. These are also, great options, and there's invites-only marketplaces like Tesco as well. But in my honest opinion, these are the options you should look at, and you should start with one at first. Test the waters out, and in my opinion, for most of you, eBay is going to be the one to start with. But I have a recommendation. I bought this book off Amazon, believe it or not. It's written by a guy called Dan Wilson. Now, Dan brought eBay into the UK as part of the initial team. The book's a little bit dated. It was written in 2013. It just gives you a good idea of what's expected. It's an easy read. It's written for someone who ideally wants to start an online business. So I'll put a link to that on Amazon below. But anyway, any comments, or if you've got any questions about your business and your venture, I'd love to hear about them. And also remember to subscribe, because we are going to be releasing our next episode next Thursday. So thanks for watching and speak soon.